Hey guys, and welcome to Natural Aesthetics. So this is my full refeed day, 468 grams of carbs. That's where I get all my extra energy from on my refeed days, so a little bit higher than usual. I follow an if it fits into your macros style approach, where I have a predetermined set calorie count, and then subsequently my macros are set: carbohydrates, proteins and fats. And on a day-to-day basis I try and make sure that I'm consuming as close to those numbers as possible without going over the top. Week by week then I can drop those values, subsequently start to lose body fat. Now it's not a linear approach. There are times when the calories might stay the same, there are times when I might overeat. For example, this refeed day. The purpose of this refeed day, without going too much into depth in terms of metabolism, it's a nice break up from the diet to break the monotony, makes you feel fuller, makes you look better in the gym, and just gives you a little bit more motivation to start dieting thereafter, especially when you're doing like a prolonged cut. I do think the refeed days are essential, if just only for that reason. So most of my food is clean, unprocessed. However, I do occasionally have snacks that are kind of junk food. My Vimto ice popsicles, one of my favourites, and you can get in that kind of shape eating junk food, you know. Quite often I'm talking to people in the gym and trying to explain the difference between eating for health and eating for body composition. It's two different things. You have to understand that. Short term, really it doesn't make any shred of difference between eating 20 grams of carbs from white rice or brown rice or oats or Pop-Tarts or fruits or jelly babies. From what I've seen in my own physique and the clients that I've trained, it doesn't make any difference short term if you're under eating. If you're under eating, you will lose weight. Now, it's not to say everyone will react the same, nor is it also to say that long term that's a good idea to be doing, because your hormones will be affected by foods like that over the long run, and an unhealthy system is not something that's going to be focusing on losing body fat. So yeah, short term your body doesn't really recognise the difference between different sources of carbohydrates and fats and whatnot, from my own personal view. But long run, you really do want to focus on getting healthy foods in for the most part, because your body is going to be in a more optimal position to spend its energy getting leaner and growing muscle. I think that's just a fact, really. So okay, getting into training now. The video split into 4 parts. My heavy push day, just a few clips from a few exercises. Not all the exercises are recorded. Here I'm finishing up my workout with some heavy push downs. Before moving on to pull day, which I start with my loose form barbell rows. I have been training quite early over the last few weeks, and I do feel quite sluggish. I have to admit, certainly a lot weaker. If I was training later, I would definitely perform better in terms of my strength in the gym. It's just not something I can do at the moment, so I've just got to get on with it. Moving from the barbell row, which is looser form, to a seal row, which is much stricter, you kind of know exactly where you stand with the exercise because there's no room for momentum. I do think both styles are important for building a big back. And then finish up with some biceps, quite strict form on these two. So midweek is my lower body day. Train about 7:30 on this particular day, and did for a week 150k on the squats for 4, followed by some front squats 120 for 4. Midday, maybe 1 o'clock, I probably had 2 reps of that, definitely. And these are pre-exhausted. With leg extensions and curls, I did like 6, 7, 8 sets prior to these squats, so I reckon I'm still good for 150 for maybe 7, maybe even 8 at a real push, completely fresh. Obviously it's gone down massively, but the last few sessions I haven't been able to get in the squat rack first. You know, if I give myself maybe 2 hours to train in the gym before I need to start working again, I have to start training. You know, I can't just sit and wait for 45 minutes before I do anything. So I use pre-exhaust, start the machines, and then hit squats when your legs are fatigued. It's just a way of making the squats a lot harder, but I certainly feel it in the thigh muscles a lot more, even with using lighter loads. Next up, we've got the second push day of the week, which is lighter weights, you know, kind of 10 reps plus. And I actually tried some dumbbell incline for the first time since I injured my pec for my last competition. So I'm guessing, what, 4 weeks now, plus. And it does feel really good to get back into some free weights again. Couldn't do it on flat, still a little bit niggly when I do my flat press, but incline felt okay, so I'll be doing those each week and trying to push the weight up a little bit. Did some supersets with some lateral raises, front raises. Now these are really hard. You're holding onto those dumbbells for a long time. Forearms start killing. The forearms start fatiguing just as much as the shoulders. Then triceps to finish. My new favourite tricep exercise, the seated rope push out, I guess you can call it, keeping the elbows tight into the body and flaring the rope outwards. I think I did maybe 6 sets of 10 to 15 reps on this. Last day of the week is my second pull day. Again, same principle, slightly higher reps, 10 to 15. I would usually start on deadlifts, but again, this session was kind of in a rush and I couldn't get on the squat rack. I couldn't find a position to do the deadlifts in, so rather than wait and waste time, I started on some machine work. You know, it is annoying when you have a plan, you want to stick to it, but sometimes you just got to get in the gym and do the work rather than wait around. I don't think we're as blessed here in the UK as America in terms of gym sizes and the amount of gyms that seem to have a lot of good equipment. So I follow up my back work. Also did some pullovers there. If any of you have ever watched the old Dorian Yates movie, the Blood and Guts I believe it's called, he uses that machine a lot for his back training. It's something I've never really used in this particular gym that had it, so I thought I'd try it. What I will say is that you've really got to focus on pushing with the elbows and just almost holding it with the fingertips and letting the elbows do the work. Because I found sometimes I was tempted to push with the hands. My triceps were doing too much work. Then hitting some arms to finish, some preacher curls, followed by some high rep sets on alternating dumbbell curl. If you want to get vascular arms, you know, these are one of the exercises you should be doing on a weekly basis. You're holding onto the dumbbells for a long time. It's going to increase the conditioning of the arm. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you like the video, then please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or queries, put a comment in the comment section below. I'll get back to you. Stay strong.